Good morning, everyone. This is Elissa with the Kansas Health Foundation. It looks like I think we were only going to have 3 people attending today, and I have Renee from Johnson County, Lynn from Barton County, and Dawn from Brown County. And I'm going to have you guys all unmuted, so if you can hear me, could you say your name?
This is Renee Bryant.
And is Lynn there?
Yes, this is Lynn.
Hi. And I think we have Dawn on the line too, but I don't know if he's called in yet. Is Dawn there? Might wait for him to log in. What I was going to go over today is just very brief, detailed information over our new reporting system. I know back in June we kind of went over the reporting and how you would enter your activities. So today I'm just going to be going over this new system, and hopefully it'll be a lot easier for you to use. We've just finished creating this reporting portal for you, and it'll help collect your data over time so you won't have to do as much text entry, and then also be able to report out data over time. So as you start reporting these activity reports, you can see what your answers have been over the past year and see your progress. And this call today is kind of, again, to go over the technical side. And if you have any content questions, that can be something that you can talk to Jeff Usher here at the Foundation or your technical assistance provider on what content to be entered. You've been tracking and collecting this data. It's all the same data that you've been told to collect. It's just a new way of entering the information. And Jeff Usher has just joined us.
Hello. Hi, Jeff.
So this first screen that you're seeing is the grantee login. And right after our call, what I'm going to do is email all the communities and give them their number, and then there's a password as well. And then after you log in for the first time, you can go ahead and change your password to something that you remember. So for today, I'm just going to run through a account that we have here at the Foundation. So I will just enter my grant number. And yours will be very similar. It will just have different numbers at after the dash. And then I'll enter a password. And it'll take me to a login. So what you'll see on the right side of the page, where I mentioned the change password, if you want to go ahead and do that, you would select that change password button, and you can enter the password that I give you today in your email, and then enter your new password that you want to have saved for logging in the future. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll just hit the back button. And if you have any questions throughout, please just feel free to speak up. The very first page you see is this work plan form. For the Healthy Communities Initiative, we won't be using that, so you can just disregard that. What we'll be using are the activity reports on the side, the community mobilization, media engagement, advocacy with organizational decision makers, and government policymaker education. So the first report that you have is coming up due, and we stated in the agreements that they'd be due on September 15th, which would be this Sunday. But we wanted to make sure that after we present this to you, this new system, that we still give you a full week. So we've extended that deadline to be September 17th, which will be next Tuesday. So we hope that gives you enough time to get your data entered. And you'll have until midnight on that 17th. So what I'll do is first go to this community mobilization activity report. You can see at the top where it says the current reporting period. So this report that's coming due on September 17th, the period that you will be entering your data is from July, so the very first day that your grant started, which would be July 1st, to August 31st. So that's the date here. And if you wanted to, you could start even tracking or entering your data for the next reporting period, which is September through October. So we give you 2 visible at a time if you want to start entering your activity. Once this report that's coming due on the 17th, which is this first line item, July through August, once it's September 18th, so past the deadline, you won't be able to add any further activities. So we want to make sure that you've entered everything before the due date, because once the due date has passed, you won't be able to enter anything into this system. And what I'll do also in the email that you'll receive today with your grant number and your password is also give you all of the dates that your reports will be due. It was provided in the grant agreements that we sent out, but I know a lot of you guys didn't get to see those. So that'll be in the email as well, just to let you know when the due dates are for all of your reports, so you make sure to get these submitted on time. So any questions on any of that? Okay. So again, everything's the same as far as the description of what you're tracking. So for community mobilization, it just kind of gives you a description and then how to complete the report. So you'll enter the partner or coalition member by the name or organization, identify which community change activity that member was engaged in, as well as providing a brief description of that mobilization activity. So what you would do is select Add Activity, and right here I've got a partner entered. So Sam James, but let's say that's not who I want to add to this activity. What I need to do is add a partner name. So let's say I just add myself on here, and I click this Save button. So I want to add my activity now. My name is going to be here. So as you do your first couple of reports, you'll need to hit that Add Partner Name to get the activity, to be able to pull down that partner name from that drop-down. But over time, so let's say you're completing your 10th activity report and you've mobilized that same partner name. That partner name will be in this drop-down. So it'll help compile all of your partner names over time, so you won't have to keep entering the same names over and over. So my community partner was myself, and then that partner contributed toward community education. And then let's say that I put how this partner helped support my work. So met with, and let's just put a description in there, and I hit Save, and it says who my community partner was, the strategy that partner contributed toward, as well as the description of how that partner will support your work. So you'll keep adding all of your activities for that reporting period. And let's say that you want to go back and edit it. You can click this little pencil button. And let's say I accidentally marked community education. I needed to mark government policymaker education. I can click Save, and it'll rechange that. Or if I just overall want to delete that, I can hit the X. And it'll say, are you sure you want to delete? And you can say OK to get rid of it. So as you start adding all of your activities, it'll just pile up underneath this first line item. And you don't ever need to click a Save button. As you're entering this, each activity, the system automatically saves for you. So if I were to log out and log back in, that same activity is going to be there. So let's say now I want to complete my media engagement report. Again, it's the same description of what you've seen before. And I've already completed this one here. What activities were conducted during this reporting period to try to recruit earned media? I said that I spoke directly to a reporter or a news editor. Or you can check more than one if you want. And then you describe the rationale for choosing that earned media recruitment activity during that reporting period. And here's my description in this box. And on this, you do need to click the Save button since it's a text box. So you hit the Save button, and it'll save your entry in there. And that's why when I just came to this page, that was already in there, entered in that box that invited a report. It should be report or to a presentation. And then the next section is then where you enter your earned media during this reporting period. So again, I'll click the Add Earned Media, and I'll say, let's say my name of my outlet was the Kansas newspaper. The date was this last Sunday. and it was a newspaper story. And then if I have a link to that article, I can enter the link in that text box, hit the Save button, and there's my activity. And again, you can click on that little pencil to edit the entry, or click the X to delete the activity. And that line item will be saved there as you go to the next activity report. So then we'll go to Advocacy with Organizational Decision Makers. Again, the description is above, as well as how to fill out the report. And this report is pretty identical to the community mobilization activity report, and where we need to add the person's name. And again, those names will be saved over time as you complete these activity reports, so you won't have to keep adding them. They'll just be available if you continue working with that person. So if I add decision maker, let's say I add Sally Smith. And if there's more than one person that you met with, there's instructions below that you need to please use a comma to separate the different names. And then let's say I met with John Brown as well. And they are with the Wichita Library. I'll select the Save button, and when I go to actually add my activity now of my Advocacy with Organizational Decision Makers, that entry is there, and you can select from that entry now. And I met with them on August 15th, and the nature of our conversation was we had education about the issue as well as education about policy solutions. And then describe the interaction with this decision maker. We sponsored a workshop on something. We'll click Save, and again, it's the same way. Your entry is here below in this line item. It tells you everything that you entered. Again, you can edit it or delete it. And next we'll go to Government Policymaker Education. Here we add our activity. And this one's a little different, I think, from what you guys we originally gave you. It's a little bit cleaner, not as much data entry, because I think we asked you for the date of the meeting with the government policymaker as well as the perceived success of your meeting. And we're not going to ask for that data. We just want you to enter the type of government policymaker it was that you met with. And we have a number of different categories that you can select from. And if the person you met with doesn't fall into one of those categories, you can select another local public entity. So let's say I met with the city mayor. And then that person's name was Mary Smith, and she was the mayor. And again, you'll see right below, we ask for you to do your format in the form of first name, last name, and then their position in parentheses. And if you met with multiple policymakers, put a comment in there, and we could put Jacob Blake, and then put their position. And then the educational activity was healthy lifestyle choices. Let's just put that. We'll select Save, and again, here's our entry, and we can edit it and delete it. So it's pretty self-explanatory, and then you can go back. So let's say if you wanted to start today, you could add everything that you wanted to, go back and forth to the different reports and add as you want to. And then you can log out, and all of your entries will be in here. So for all of your activity reports, there's never a Save button except for on that media engagement, this text box, and there's no Submit button. So once the deadline of September 17th that we've now extended to comes up, all of your entries in there will be just locked into this reporting system, and that's what the foundation has at that time, and so that's what you've submitted. So does all of that make sense? Any questions on how to complete the activity report?
I have a question. Is this supposed to be sequential? In other words, you need to have what happened in July,
No.
and August? Okay.
No, I don't think it needs to be. However it's easiest for you to do to enter in your activities, I think the better. We don't want to make it difficult for you guys to use this system. Just as maybe as you start collecting things, just you can enter it whenever you have time, or you could do it all at once.
Okay, thank you.
Renee has a couple questions.
Okay.
On that last piece, when there's a drop down for other government policymakers, if you do not see the correct one, when you put other local public entities, is there a place where you can put that in there, or you just just hit other?
I would just hit other, and then when you list
okay, sorry, I didn't see that.
Maybe put the position, and maybe if we start seeing the same type come up, we can add that to the drop down.
Okay. Okay, and then my other question is, I think back to the individual, the coalition member that you met.
Okay.
What if you met with multiple people? Like if you met with, like presented at a coalition meeting, and that, like another coalition that has multiple people, do you list the people that were actually at the meeting, or do you just list the name of the coalition?
If there's a lot of names, I would just put the name of the coalition.
Or the person that asked you there, maybe, on behalf of the coalition, or just?
I would just go ahead and just put the coalition.
Okay. And then on the earned media, if you have earned media, is there any, and if you don't have a link but you have a copy of it, is there any way to give you a PDF of it?
No, not on here. I don't know if we might, if we want it, maybe we'll ask for it if there's not, if you, like for the
yeah, if you don't, just state that you don't have, there isn't a link available. It says it's available.
Yeah.
And then if we have further questions, we'll contact you.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? I wanted to kind of cover the annual report section, which your first annual report isn't due until August 1st of 2014. But you'll use this system as well. And you would just click on annual report, and again, you have your current reporting period time frame, and we're just going to be in year 1, so we'll have year 1, year 2, and year 3 available. So for year 1, and this annual report section where it says for each objective proposed for the reporting period, this initiative we didn't have any specific objectives that you guys said that you would meet during a certain period of time. So we'll just skip over that. That's for some of the other initiatives we have at the foundation. So we'll just scroll down to these other questions. So there's 3 questions where right at the very top when we say describe the most important lessons learned to date, describe your unanticipated outcomes, positive or negative, encountered, if any, and describe steps being taken to ensure sustainability of this work beyond the grant term, if any. And then you would select where it asks you, is this your final grant report? Of course, you would have no selected, and you would answer this next question. So based upon experience to date, will proposal objectives be achieved within the budget and time remaining? Now, once this is your 3rd report, you would click the yes, because it would be your final report. And we have 2 separate questions. So if you wanted to just browse around through here and just kind of see what the questions will be so you can be prepared, that'd be great. If you don't want to, that's fine as well. So once you were to answer all of your questions, let me just go through here. I'll probably need to cover this again as we get closer to this time frame, but I just kind of wanted to show you how this system works. Once I enter data into all of these fields, I would select Save. And then this annual report, you would actually have a submit button, and you would hit the submit button. And once you select that button, all of your entries will be saved in here, and you will not be able to modify them anymore. So this annual report is a little different. It actually has a save and submit, while the other ones, you just enter all of your activities, and it's saved over time. And then when the deadline approaches, all of those entries are what's submitted to the foundation. So again, right after our meeting here, I'm going to send out an email to the 3 of you, and I'll give you the link to this site here, and I'll give you your grant number and just the password for now that I'm giving you. And once you log in, you can go in and change your password. And then I'll also send you a document that lists out all of the due dates for your activity report, as well as when your annual reports will be due. If you have any questions as you're filling out this online reporting system, any technical questions, you can reach me. My email address is down here, so you can just shoot me an email. I think that's all we were really going to cover this morning, unless we have any other questions. Does it seem pretty easy?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good. And the thing is with our old system, we were only able to let you enter a certain number of activities for each different report, and this one is unlimited, so there's pretty much unlimited capability in this new reporting system, and we wanted it to be more user-friendly, so we hope that that's the case.
I have a question. It's Renee.
Okay.
We had most of our activity for the first of the grant year in May and June, and with July very quiet with everyone out of town. Can we report those activities, because those are the bulk of what we've done?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We're going to learn from this first reporting period, and so anything that you want to report, go ahead and try to report it as accurate as possible. And then what we'll be doing is analyzing this first report, and then we'll have more conversations at the October convening about any additional instructions.
Okay.
Hey, if we don't have any other questions, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.